What is up? What's up, everyone? What's up, Tommy?
Folks.
You good, tech-wise? All right, that's enough of the intro. As we let the people roll in, as we get our tech set, and as we get ready to get this show underway, everyone, presented by Prize Picks. Get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 and use the promo code Welcome to Light Years. Tommy, my guy. I always feel weird after games like this because no Steph, no Jimmy in the second half against the best team in the league. Obviously, they should lose this game, right? Valiant effort. Looked like at the beginning of the fourth, they had a shot to steal it. And, Shea did what champions do. He sealed the game. And I'm not in the business of like moral victories or anything, particularly with a frustrating season. Like it would have been really nice to steal this game and get to 12-10 instead of being 11-11. But at the same time, it is what it is. I don't know. Like, do you feel the same way as me, where you're just kind of like, I can't get mad at this, but I'm also just like pent up frustration over the course of the season right now?
Well, it feels like they've done this a couple times this year where either Steph is out and or Jimmy's out. They trail for most of the game, then they have like a little bit of a fake comeback, and you get like that. Oh, they might actually be able to steal this one, and then they don't steal it. And now you're just instead of just like losing by 25, and it's like, well, we were never going to win this game anyway. They had a legitimate chance to win tonight. Like took the lead a couple times in the fourth quarter, and obviously couldn't finish the job. So it just makes it more frustrating in the end when you have that type of comeback. And it was not about not playing hard tonight. I thought they played hard. They executed. They made a good amount of shots, but at the end of the day, Thunder just have way more talent, especially without Steph and Jimmy.
Yeah. By the way, got that working a little clearer right now. Yeah, Seth Curry's first game. I didn't think Seth was going to play tonight, to be honest with you. Like, I know Steve said yesterday, he's like, I'm ready to throw him right out there. They obviously could have used him, and they did use him. It was good. That was fun to watch. Fun to watch him just stick in there and immediately show it. Like my macro take was, good Lord, this team is dying for offensive skill. That Seth can come in off the street and immediately feels like a godsend. But my micro take on it is it was just fucking cool. He was Steph's brother. He wants him on the team. That was fun. I thought they were going to steal the game. Yeah, a little like hokey, like great timeout vibes, but he can still play. And, I think you put it out there too. If he's going to play like this, buddy, you were already in the trade machine.
Mm-hmm.
You might don't unpack your bags. That's
right.
All I'm saying.
And look, we'll always have Game 7 against the Rockets last year with Buddy, and from a vibe standpoint, it would like hurt to trade him, but he's been straight up awful this year. And I mean, Seth has obviously never been anything close to a star in the league, but he's always been one of the better shot makers in the league. I think he might be the career leader in 3-point percentage for NBA history. I know he's right there. If he's not, it's like Steph, Steve Kerr, Seth, like all these guys above like 43% for their career. He's just a shot maker, man. Like he doesn't even get like the cleanest of looks, but his touch and his form and just like obviously there's something there with the Curry family. Like they just know how to put a ball through a basket. Like they're just supremely.
There is an irony at Steph having the lowest 3-point percentage of the bunch. Like
it's funny.
There's obvious reasons, but it's still funny.
Yeah. But yeah, the guy can just make shots, and he's so much. If we're just talking in comparison to Buddy, he's so much more solid than Buddy. Like it's the shot making that you would hope you would get from Buddy without a lot of the mental mistakes that come with Buddy or all the volatility. Seth is just a more solid player. Probably not quite like, I don't know if Seth is going for 33 in a game 7 of a playoff series, but he's probably also not going 0 for 12 and turning the ball over 4 times and making a bunch of defensive mistakes.
Yeah, I don't actually even think, Buddy's defensive mistakes and the turnovers are that big an issue. For me, it's really just the shooting. Like he's out there to be a marksman, right? Like no matter what you get from him, you're expecting the ball to go in the hoop consistently. Obviously, no one shoots, 2 out of 5, 40% every time they play, but you don't expect prolonged slumps from a real shooter like Buddy. And that's really been the frustrating part with him. Like we're over a quarter away into the season from the field, and that's just kind of like when that is your calling card, when you are, if nothing else, your job is to come in off the bench and hit shots. That is frustrating. That is frustrating. And yeah, to your point, like Seth is the active leader in 3-point percentage.
Yeah.
Our friends at Blitz Analytics pulling up the stats here right now, just for the record. The all-time leaders, the head coach. But Seth right here, active leader among players. Well, actually, I take that back.
Kennard and AJ Green.
Green. Well, AJ, I'm not convinced AJ Green has enough attempts, to be honest with you.
Active leader over 500 games. How about we go with that?
Yeah, we'll go with that. Anyway, the point stands here. I'm looking at this right now. Seth is up there among the greatest shooters of all time in terms of percentages. Is Steve Kerr going to run him through impossible sets to lower his shooting percentage so Steve stays higher on the list than him? That is what I want to know. No. It was fun. Like, I don't know how else to put it. Like, I don't know if Seth has a ton in the tank and we're going to see this every time he plays. I don't know that he's actually even going to be better than Buddy Hield going forward, but tonight he was, and he looked awesome tonight, and he gave them the thing they need more than anything, which is just some offensive juice out there, right? And that's kind of where I'm just kind of it's nice to add him. And we had Brett Siegel on over the weekend, and we've been talking about it. Like, clearly, you go against the Thunder, even without Steph, you see some of these better teams. It's obvious this team needs to add a little offensive punch to them. So, Seth might not be the savior, but he can help.
Oh, he can definitely help. And even had, a classic Curry gravity play where he comes off a down screen late, 2 fly at him, he gets GP for a layup. Like, it's outside of the shooting itself. Just having another guy that attracts genuine attention on the floor to give more space to a Jimmy or to Steph, obviously, or whoever else is out there. Like, that stuff, it just carries so much value in the way that, like, number one, teams play offensively, but number two, the ways teams defend. Teams are very, they don't want to let great shooters get good looks off from three for good reason, obviously. But Seth and Seth is a pretty solid decision maker too, and can handle the ball just enough. You obviously don't want him running point guard, but he can be a little bit of a secondary handler, like kind of run a pick and roll on the backside of an action. Like, he can do a lot of that stuff. And he's just, look, man, he's been in the league for a long time, and obviously he comes from like great heritage in terms of basketball. He's been around the NBA since he was a kid, so it makes sense that he feels very composed in situations like this. But I wish he would have been like a week end up being on the team, because I feel like Steve was trying to keep his spurt short, just because obviously conditioning is probably a factor right now.
Yeah, you can say you're in shape and you're ready and all that, but it's just not the same as playing a game, that sort of thing. I like this question from the chat, mostly because I was thinking it during the game. Is SGA the best player in the world, Tommy?
I think it's the first time we can have a genuine conversation about somebody besides Jokic in probably 2 to 3 years. Yeah, he's that good. He's doing nothing is 2016 Steph. Like, nothing will reach that height of just like the fervor and obviously, like, Shea's an incredible shot maker, but not close to like the peak version of Steph. But he's scoring 30 a game, and he's not playing in like half of their fourth quarters. And obviously a lot of that is because they have such a great team. It's not just him, but he's incredible, man. Like, he is, if he wins one more title, period, for the rest of his career, you're probably going to have to start talking about him as a top 5, top 3 shooting guard of all time. Like, he's already ascending to that level because he has an MVP, he has a title, he has a finals MVP. Mm-hmm. Really, obviously MJ and Kobe are still above him, but if he wins a couple more, like, you're going to have to start
MJ's above him. No,
all right. That's not the podcast we're doing tonight. But your point is, like, yeah, I don't know if I would absolutely call him the best in the world, but it's entirely a conversation, and I don't think you've really been able to say that for most of the past couple of years.
I am comfortable. a year ago, if people were like, SGA is the best player in the league, I'd be like, relax.
Mm,
It's some Gen Z bullshit, Like I would be anti it. Today, if someone says that to me, I don't know if I agree, but I will not react to it. I'll be like, you know what? He's up there. He's right there. More than anything, I'm getting a little tired, and this pains me because I'm a Jokic guy. I've been a Jokic guy before he validated with the title,
mhm.
but I'm just getting a little tired of the slurping. Getting a little tired of
Yeah.
like Stan Van Gundy saying he's the greatest player of all time. And like I get it from a basketball standpoint, being able to run everything through a guy like that at the 5 position who is that efficient and that great a decision. I get it. Like you will it's impossible to have a sub 500 team with Jokic. Like I really think it's
Yeah.
impossible to have a bad team with him. He's just maybe the greatest floor raiser of all time. Like he's
Yeah.
just such a good player, and he might be the best player in the league. I don't have a problem with any of that. But the desire to put the cart in front of the horse and proclaim him the greatest of all time starting to get a little tiresome for me, you
I,
know?
we've crossed like the threshold of the Rubicon or whatever ever analogy you want to use with just like people act so aggrieved now when you even mention anybody besides Jokic being the best in the world. It's like it is a conversation, man. Like SGA has clearly gone up. He went up a level last year. Like he's been constantly going up levels, and it seems like he's gone up another level this year. Um, and just like it's not that it's not easy for Jokic to get to stuff, but SGA's in that mold of player where like he is going to get basically the exact shot he wants, no matter what the situation is. And it's just a matter of whether he makes or misses it. And it's an argument about like what you value more in basketball, whether Jokic is going to create a great look for your team, but it might not necessarily be the best look for himself just because of the athletic limitations, or do you want the guy who can go get basically whatever shot he wants in whatever environment? So it's more of an argue about like what you prefer in terms of a player instead of like who is necessarily better. I think that's what actually the conversation comes down to.
And my argument for SGA actually, and we've discussed this on the past, like here and there, it's the same argument one would make for MJ and one would make for Steph, which is you can put the most lopsided defensive lineups around them,
Yes.
and they're just going to get to their shots and carry enough offense. Shea really is at that point where first off, the Thunder are going to win worst case 67 games.
Yeah, man. They're 21-1. Like that's insane.
I mean, they should win 70 games. They might beat the Warriors 73 wins. Like a lot of that comes down to how much they want to put the pedal on the gas and a little bit of health. But like it's hard to imagine them winning less than 67, 68 games, just given how they started. And they look like a machine, and everyone's bought into their roles. Steve Kerr talking about how they play basketball with no agendas. We'll talk about that later.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that stands out to me with Shea is just like the ease at which he gets to his spots and hits every one of his shots. It is MJ-esque. It is Steph-esque. Obviously different spots for both of those players, but it's just kind of like we defend and you're just not going to stop him from getting what he wants. Like if he shoots 8 for 27, it's not you. It's just one of those nights, and that's really tough to play against.
Yeah, I mean, he just every shot he took late, I thought it was going in. Whether it went, I mean, I think he
Tonight
made
it did, but
right.
yes.
And I might have missed one with like 5 or 6 minutes left, and then after that, I don't think he missed. Like he had that little step back going right for three, got to the mid range a couple times. It's just like, well, that's probably it. And that is a very very rarefied air when a guy reaches that level late in the game, where you're basically hoping and praying that the shot doesn't go in, but in the back of your mind, it probably is. He's spectacular, man. And I've been a hater at times, but he when a guy wins a title, you have to like give them that respect. And the Thunder won it last year. You could say whatever you want about Warriors being injured, the Pacers getting injured, the Nuggets having injuries. At the end of the day, they completed the job. And they have that, the thing that Steve talked about going into year two after winning in 2015. They have that kind of like post, and I think he mentioned it today pregame. They have that post championship confidence where
Yeah.
they've done it all, they've seen it all at this point, and late in games, they just feel like they are going to figure out a way to win, and they have basically every game this year so far.
The chat's not happy about us going into this. I actually want to take it on the other side
Mhm.
to the Warriors related conversation, which is
Yeah.
this is clearly the bell mark. That like we're not interested in the Warriors getting to the first round and losing. We're interested
No.
in seeing if they can win a title. If they're going to win a title, it's going through the Thunder. They've played them twice. The first game we don't need to talk about. Uh, After this, let's talk about what they really need to do to be able to compete with this team.
Okay. But Yours Podcast, we are brought to you by Prize Picks. You and I make decisions every day, but on Prize Picks, being right can get you paid. Don't miss any of the excitement this football season on Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Got a fun Thursday night matchup this week. I believe it's Detroit and Dallas. George Pickens right now is
Dallas
only
being fun, by the way, was not on my bingo card,
out of
but
nowhere.
they are legitimately a very watchable, fun team.
Well, Dak is like he's had injury problems, obviously, but in general, I think he's pretty underrated just as a player. Like when he gets going, he's pretty hard to stop. Like he's one of the best throwers of the football in the league. And George Pickens, man, like that guy, he has like four of the craziest catches you've ever seen, and then he's liable to also get like some ridiculous unsportsmanlike conduct penalty. I love watching him. He's only at 77 and a half yards right now. That's an easy more to me. And then Dak's at 269 for his yards. I would go more on that too. That Dallas offense has it humming. And that's, Thursday night games can be pretty hit or miss, but that feels like a fun one that we got coming up this week. Prize Picks is the only app that offers stacks, meaning you can pick the same player up to 3 times in the same lineup. The app is really easy to use. To create a lineup, all you have to do is pick more or less on a few player stats for your shot to win. So download the app today and use code LIGHTYEARS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LIGHTYEARS to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. Prize Picks, it's good to be right.
It is good to be right. You know what else is good? It's good to look good. And you know what helps me look good? GLD, right here, guys. Right here. Let me unspotlight you, Tommy. Let me spotlight myself.
There we
Let
go.
me spotlight myself, my friend here, guys. Buying men's jewelry used to be a nightmare, especially around the holidays. It's either cheap stuff that broke after a week or crazy overpriced stuff with ridiculous markups. That's why I rock with GLD. They've changed the game. You get quality jewelry that's built to last without blowing your entire holiday budget on one item. And believe me, we all know the way inflation's going. It's important. It's important. Every stone is meticulously hand set, plus the proprietary production process makes sure you're getting the highest quality jewelry possible. You can literally see and feel the difference. Guys, work hard and change the game. GLD's holiday deal is unbeatable. For a limited time only, new customers get 50% off GLD.com when you use the code LIGHTYEARS. That's 50% off with the code LIGHTYEARS at GLD.com after you purchase. They'll ask you where you heard about us. Make sure to support our show and say that we sent you. All right. Okay, so do you think the Thunder are unbeatable? Do you think they're just team of destiny at this point?
No, absolutely not.
I feel like after 2016, I'll just never say that. I'll be like, the odds are in their favor, but you never know. You just never know what's going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, like if you're asking me to take the Thunder against the field, it's closer, like just between picking one team in the field than it has been at any point since 2016. But at the end of the day, like all it takes is one little injury. It doesn't even have to be anything crazy. Like Steph had what, a grade 1 MCL sprain, but that was enough to affect him for the rest of the playoffs. SGA turns an ankle, Jalen Williams turns an ankle, and I know they were 17-1 without Jalen Williams, but it's a little bit different if it's a playoff series where he's out for multiple games versus you're playing different teams every night. They have had the worst strength of schedule in the league, like per basically every metric, which like I'm not taking anything away from them being 21-1, but they're easily probably going to win, like you said, 67, 68 games. But playoff series are so much about matchups.
Yeah. So okay, if you're looking at this Warriors team, let's assume Steph's healthy.
Yep.
Let's assume Jimmy's healthy, because like obviously, like if those two things are not there, that's table stakes. Like it's a pointless conversation, right? But let's assume they're healthy. What are you looking for from the Warriors to be able to match up with them? Do you feel confident with this current roster? What do you need to see to feel that you can actually beat that team?
A trade. I mean,
Okay, fine. You know what?
yeah.
Like, I was gonna try to politely back into that, but
Oh, look, man,
what?
the team's 11-11. I'm not gonna like make any qualms about where we're at right now. I think they're better than 11-11. I think they're probably closer to 60% winning percentage, whatever that would put you at. But like clearly, whatever magic they had working at the end of last year has not been present this year for a multitude of reasons. You can blame whatever you want, but it's not there. So if you're telling me the team that they had last year going up against the Thunder last year, I would have felt as confident as you could feel against that Thunder team going into a series with a fully healthy team. Right now, I wouldn't feel that confident. Like obviously, you're going to need massive series from both Steph and Jimmy. Um, you're probably going to need to it's almost you're gonna have to make Shai's life as difficult as possible. That goes without being said, but you're probably gonna kind of have to X out Jalen Williams in the series. Like you can't let him have like a 40-point game like he did in the finals, right? Like you can't let something like that happen. You got to find a way to bother Chet, and I think Draymond can do a pretty good job of that if they have like kind of the right pieces. I think you're gonna have to hope Post can stay on the floor because he can actually pull Chet away from the rim. Like there's a lot of things that go into it.
Yeah, when I look at the Thunder, I don't think size is what the Warriors are lacking. Uh,
Yeah, when
I think it's some combination of athleticism and skill.
sure.
Like obviously positional size matters, and like the bigger you can get it, the better. Like that goes without saying. Like I'm not saying adding a 6'1" guard who can dribble off the bounce is going to be the answer. But when I look at them, I think they match up pretty well with the Thunder defensively. They are missing kind of that one like two-way athletic wing who and maybe Melton's that. Maybe Melton's the guy who can make Shai's life difficult. But you'd like to have a couple guys like that. And I don't know how like I'm excited. Sounds like he's gonna play on this road trip, which makes me pretty excited.
That'd be awesome, man. That would be awesome. Um, but yeah, I mean, you got to remember they were missing iHeart tonight. They like when they have everybody healthy, they typically go with kind of Chet at the 4, Hartenstein at the 5. It's a pretty
Yeah,
damn
but
big lineup.
what's a series versus the Warriors gonna look like? Isn't it gonna devolve to Chet and Draymond at the 5 most of the game?
You would think so, but Hartenstein, I don't know, man. Hartenstein's pretty damn good. Like he's a guy that I wanted the Warriors to get before he went to the Thunder for years. He just
Sure.
like honestly, reminds me just as a player a lot of Bogut. Very very similar archetype. So maybe he does get played off, but against the Warriors, I don't know if he does because I just don't know if offensively the Warriors can put enough threats on the floor to play him off of the floor and make him not matter. Um, so yeah, it's a I would say out of like it's not their trickiest matchup, funny enough. And I think they've actually shown that over the last couple of seasons with how tough they've played them for the most part. But I mean, they're so good that it's a tricky matchup no matter what. Yeah, I mean, theoretically, you would like to get them to the point where they're only playing one big. I think that's probably a necessity to win that series. Now, how do you go about that? Again, you probably have to trade for another offensive threat, and hopefully, he has some size and some athleticism.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they need one more impact player. That's really what it comes down
Oh,
to.
mhm.
It doesn't need to be like a lead ball handler
No,
or a big, but it needs to be someone who can impact the game multiple ways. To me, honestly, like it's not happening, but like a Trey Murphy type, like a 3-and-D wing who's got some size would be the ideal archetype for this matchup. Uh, I don't think it's happening. The more I like look at it, I'm just like that feels like everyone wish casting. Like the Pelicans are stupid. Why don't they just give us the player that everyone wants? That
we're not
every
going to
other.
match the price. The Warriors will not match the price that it takes to get
I don't
Trey
think
Murphy.
anyone's. I don't think they're. I don't even think they're gonna get. They're gonna trade him this year. They don't have to. They have him for another 5 years.
Why would they want to? I don't understand why they would want to trade him. Like, if anything, I think they're going to move off Zion at the deadline. Like, that feels more likely with kind of the
Herb
emergence.
Herb is more likely too, where it's just kind of like he's a great defensive piece, but they're like it's like one of those guys where it's like if you don't even have a foundation, they're kind of like a lost
Right,
piece.
right.
It's like kind of like what Caruso was on the Bulls. Like everyone knew he was good, but it's like he's wasted in that environment.
And to be clear, I think there is there's definitely more of a path that the Warriors can get Herb, and then you get something else to supplement the offense, and that's
Sure.
actually doable with I think Herb makes like 13 million or 14 million a year. It's not a huge contract, so you could do that, and you could add some more offense somewhere else. I think that like that's more what I'd be looking at the deadline, but like the home run swing like a Trey Murphy, I don't see that as happening. I mean, the guy that I would, but he almost just makes too much. The guy I'd look at is MPJ.
That's
Um,
why you know how I feel about MPJ.
he's genuinely been so good this year. Like he's been ridiculous, and
I
that
feel
brought the
valid.
team.
I feel just so validated in saying the only difference between him and Lowry Markkinen is opportunity.
You're not entirely wrong. They're obviously a little bit of different
Sure.
players,
La-
but no, I mean he's. I think their numbers are very similar so far this year. I would love to get him, but again, those type of like bigger swings for the bigger contract feel less likely. So yeah, you're gonna have to probably get another guy who can really defend with some size, and then you look at a Kobe White or a Colin Sexton or somebody like that who can juice your offense a little bit, and you hope that's enough to piece it all together. But then you're still kind of playing the whack a mole with lineup. So I don't think there is an easy answer at this point.
yeah. Um, Thunder are interesting to me just because they play like like the Winnie the Pooh meme, like sitting on the couch versus in a tuxedo.
Yeah,
That's
yeah.
kind of how I feel like people are like with the Warriors, where it's just like, oh, they're playing four guards. The Thunder, you look at them, they're playing four guards. The
Well,
same thing.
okay,
Yeah.
I understand what you're saying with that, and I
I'm not
on
saying
this
the Warriors or guards are as good as the Thunders, just to be clear. But
and I do think it's mostly like a different archetype of player. Like their guys are also like outside of like Case and Wallace, basically they're all like bigger and wider and stronger.
yeah,
They're
but are
better
they bigger?
rebounders.
Can I just get my opinion off my chest here?
Sure.
Which of their guys are bigger than Moses Moody? Is the difference
Dort,
size or is it difference they're just better players? Dort's not bigger than Moses Moody. Moses Moody is six
wider.
six. No, he's not. Moses Moody's 6'6" with a 7-foot wingspan.
Dort weighs like 230 pounds.
So does Moses. A big dude.
Yeah. I mean, they have better hands, they're more athletic. Like
They're
what
better players.
right.
Like my point is the Warriors are not like could they use more size? Sure. To me their issue is their wings are not very good.
Sure.
Like it's more of a skill thing than a
No
size
disagreement
thing.
here. No
It's more
disagreement.
my argument is basically it's a skill thing. It's not a size thing. And obviously you want it as big as you can get it. Pause. But I do. But
The second time
um,
you've said that tonight, by the way. I bit my tongue the first time.
I don't the Thunder bring it out of me. But, but like I don't know. I was just looking at the starting lineups tonight. Like Moses Moody, Will Richard, um, Pods. Pods isn't a small guy. Like
No, he's not.
these are not size isn't the differentiating factor with the Thunder. It's you could say it's like maybe it's length. Maybe the Thunder have a little longer, more physical wings,
Yes.
but like also they just have dudes who are better players,
Mhm.
more skilled.
Yeah.
Like Jalen Williams is not that big. Jalen Williams is honestly Jalen Williams is actually built like Moses Moody. He's just 10 times the player Moses Moody is,
And more athletic.
and then we're not. I'm not even bringing Kuminga to this because that's like fucking going into the hazmat zone. Like
Yeah, no
I
thanks.
put that, but like you know what I'm saying? Like the reason the Thunder players are better is not because of a physical measurement over Kuminga and Moody. It's just that they're better players.
Yeah. Better players, more athletic, better hands. Like
Yeah.
they just do basketball things much
They
better
can
than the other
dribble the
teams do.
ball. Yeah, they do. Like it sounds lame to
3-point
say they
threat.
can do basketball things, but it is like a confluence of like handle, like IQ, feel. Feel's probably the biggest one. Like
Yep.
I watch the Thunder guys play, and I'm like, as a basketball player, I don't feel like it's a robotic. Like I don't know what's going on the floor. And people who are frustrated with the Warriors will say that's coaching. I don't know, man. It's been
I
5 years.
yeah, I do think Will Richard can has a good chance to actually get there to be one of those type of wings, but
Yeah.
he's a rookie. Like he isn't quite there yet, and he doesn't have Case and Wallace is about the same age, but not the same pedigree. Like I could see Will becoming that type of player, but it's probably not happening in year one. But I do think part of what the conversation that's underrated here is like their guards. Number one, they are quicker, they're better, they're more physical, but they also have like elite rim protectors behind them. Like Chet is one of the best rim protectors in the league. Hartenstein is not one of the best, but he's in kind of the upper half of rim protectors in the league. It allows them to pressure the ball more. It allows them to be more physical. It allows them to not worry as much about being blown by. You just have more of a backbone to your defense when you do have a 7-footer in the paint who can change shots. And I think, we were talking about this a little bit offline, but I would like to see Post get more of a leash and get more playing time. Like his defense has taken a massive leap to me this year. And I think everybody can kind of see that. And it's not just about he's I think even in his rookie year, he was pretty good at the rim protection stuff. He was pretty good about going vertical. He was fouling a little bit too much. But that's just to me, that's a leap, but it's more of kind of like a micro leap for him. He's done really well guarding guys on the perimeter. Not that he's been flawless, but he forced Wiggins into a travel tonight late in the game. He forced SGA into a really tough mid-ranger. He's not getting like absolutely fried in those situations. And I would just like to see him get a little bit more like leash in these situations. Like I would have liked to close with him tonight. Like I think that could have been.
Yeah.
I'm not saying they win the game if they close with him. Like at the end of the day, we're playing money morning quarterback with these like decisions. But I would have liked to see him out there. Number one, to stretch the floor. Number two, to rebound. And number two, just to have a paint presence. So when SGA is like got Buddy on an island, he doesn't feel like he can do whatever he wants.
Yeah. No, I mean that's all fair. I don't know. It's a pet subject of mine. I'll put it that way.
Oh, I know. We've talked about
I
it
like
for years.
It's frustrating. I just they play four guards doing this. It's like their issue is they only have two guys on the roster who can dribble.
Their issue is they need better players. Like,
Yes. It's like I promise you, the issue will not be solved by getting another like Jackson Rowe. Like, oh yes, we got another 6'7" guy out there. Like no, the issue is they need better players. To your point.
Yeah. Jackson Rowe, who is no longer a Golden State Warrior, by the way.
Pour one out.
And pour one out. Light Years Podcast, we are brought to you by Cash App. The holidays are all about finding the perfect gift. But this time of year, not every deal is actually what it seems. Scammers are getting more creative to trick people into sharing their payment info through methods like fake shopping sites and giveaways that are too good to be true. Luckily, Cash App's 24/7 fraud monitoring helps detect and alert you for unusual card activity should someone gain access to your card, so you can act fast if something seems off. You can require a PIN, Face ID, or fingerprint to unlock your account and move money. So even if someone gets a hold of your unlocked phone at a holiday party, your money is right where you left it. Stay one step ahead of scams this season and keep your money secure with Cash App. For a limited time only, new Cash App customers can use our exclusive code to earn some additional cash. For real. Just download Cash App and use our referral code SECURE10 in your profile. Send $5 to a friend within 14 days and you get $10 dropped right into your account. Terms apply. That's money. That's Cash App. Cash App as a financial services platform, not a bank. Banking services provided by Cash App's bank partners. Prepaid debit cards issued by Sutton Bank, member FDIC. Promotions provided by Cash App, a Block Inc. brand. Visit cash.app/legal/podcast for full disclosures.
Guys, looking to take care of your mental health shouldn't be harder than take care of your physical health. That's where Rula comes in. Rula makes therapy simple, affordable, and fast. They work with most major insurance plans, and the average session copay is just $15. $15, guys. That's basically the cost of lunch, but instead of a sandwich, you're investing in your own headspace. Rula connects with the over 15,000 licensed therapists and psychiatrists nationwide. They cut out the guesswork by matching you with someone based on your needs, preferences, and of course, state requirements. Rula works with most major insurance plans. Sessions cost as low as $15, and in some cases, as little as $0. Guys, it's simple. Thousands of guys have already used Rula to finally get the care that they need. Don't put it off. Go to rula.com/lightyears and get started today. That's rula.com/lightyears. Take the first step, get connected, take control of your mental health. Whoa, let's get Tommy off there. All right, I got one thing to get to before we get out of here. What are we doing here, bro? What are we doing here?
Our guy,
The
A-Rock.
Rock, Aaron Turner tweets out, "What are we doing here?" Face, hand and face emoji, frustration.
Okay, I'll. Did you think Kuminga was good tonight?
No, he fucking sucked ass. Like, let's be honest.
And well,
No,
not according to our chat here and a lot of people online. I didn't think he was awful. And I'm grading on a curve here. I thought he played really hard. He was on the glass, but his decision making with the ball left a lot to be desired. I think, to put it lightly, just 3 for 10 from the field. Took some really ill-advised mid-rangers. In the time, I get it. Like, you don't have your normal offensive firepower out there. He's going to have to take some more questionable shots. I'm not saying that's not true, but it's not like he played so well that benching him was out of the question. And I just don't like, how much runway does a guy need? Like,
So I don't. Here's my feeling on it, because like I was being hyperbolic when I say play it like ass. Like I think
right.
he's fine. He
Yeah.
shot the ball poorly. Anytime he was creating offense for itself, in general, it was a win for the Thunder. He didn't really like
Sure.
him dribbling against the Thunder is just not good offense for the Warriors. But to your point, he competed hard. He rebounded hard. I thought he defended hard,
Yeah.
good or bad on the defensive end. Like, he
Sure.
did everything I could ask. Like, other than offensively, I don't understand why they were running the offense through him. But that's a different conversation. Um, to me, what's frustrating here is the need to have this conversation. The need for his agent to tweet this and turn it into a story.
Mhm.
That is what's frustrating for me. That is what's frustrating for me. And I'm gonna be honest with you, like, it's hard for me not to think about what Steve Kerr said pregame when he's talking about why the Thunder are so good. And he says, no agendas. They are playing, everyone's locked in. In fact, I'm just gonna play it right now. I'll play it right now. He's talking about how everyone is locked into their role and there's no concerns about agendas in any capacity. Give me a second here. It's illuminating live content. Sorry. All right, here we go. Found it.
Overall, team mindset of zero agendas, just win every night. Obviously, great talent, but I think high IQ players. The two teams that you're referring to that I was part of both had really, really high IQs, individually and as a team. And that's what I see with OKC. Really, really smart players, great coach. Really connected, and yeah, I mean they're on pace to shatter the record. It's pretty remarkable what they're doing.
This is my before you go on this, Tommy. This is my take on this. I think it's unfortunate that you and I have to respond to that tweet. I think it's unfortunate that this is a topic. I think Kuminga, even with the offense not being where you want it in terms of scoring the ball tonight, I think he gave them positive impact. I think he played hard. I think you can work with what you saw tonight, right? I think that guy is in the rotation every night. He's not closing every night. He's in the rotation every night. And what is the takeaway post game? It's his agent throwing a tantrum, and it's a conversation about how it's wrong that he wasn't out there. That's I know exactly where this is going. This is exactly where it's going. And my honest opinion is this is what's going to sink the Warriors season. It has nothing to do with his talent, has nothing to do with his effort, it has everything to do with agendas. It's just, you don't think Pods and Moody are frustrated with their roles and frustrated with the way they're being moved around. It's just not a talking point after every game.
Yeah.
They just get to be whipping boys. the pods thing is like at this point, like I don't even look at my phone. It's like that vicious. You know what I'm saying? Like, and that's kind of it's frustrating because even if they lost tonight, they did. I would consider it a positive momentum step for them, the
Sure.
way everything went, given everything. And instead, we're having to respond to kind of bullshit.
Yeah, I just think there's this wish for him to be a certain type of player, and when they play against a good team that's like really locked in defensively, and like he scored a lot against the Wolves in the playoffs last year, so it's a good team. But particularly like a team against the Thunder, it's so obvious that he is not ready to be anything close to a primary creator. Like, not close. And every time he dribbles against a team like this, you hold your breath. You just hope the ball doesn't get stolen because the handle is too high, it's too loose, it's too inconsistent. He doesn't really get to the spots that you think his athleticism would allow him to get to. He's more just like, and this is a really good player back in the day. He's more like Charlotte Bobcats Gerald Wallace. That's a good player. And it's the same thing as that Aaron Gordon.
Maybe he doesn't want to be that.
Correct. And so we are going to constantly be stuck in this vicious cycle. And to Kuminga's credit tonight, I think I texted somebody or I sent it in like the Discord or whatever. That's who he was playing like tonight, was like kind of a Gerald Wallace. Like he was on the boards, he was like very active, but you don't get that every single night. And that's why he comes in and out of the rotation. Like the young guys on any team, you want to be able to count on their effort and their attention to detail. That's why all the Thunder's young guys play. You never wonder whether Cason Wallace is going to play hard. You never wonder whether Jalen Williams is going to play hard. Jalen Williams is a much better player than Kuminga, but you're never questioning his effort. You're never questioning whether he's like going to go balls to the wall. Jalen Williams played the 5 for the Thunder for like half the season last year. He's just a better player. So the fact that we're having to do this over a guy who's like maybe a top 100 player in the NBA, and I think that'd be being very generous, it's flat out absurd. Well, you have one of the best players of all time on your team, and you have another guy in Jimmy who's been probably a top 20 player in the NBA this year. Like by every metric, he's been basically a top 20 player again at 36 years old. And we're sitting here battling over whether a guy who's really a sixth man at this stage in his career for a good team should be playing more or not. Like it feels so futile and pointless. And this was the issue with bringing him back all along. And it's, to be clear, a lot of this isn't his fault. It's a top-down thing. It starts with Lacob not wanting to give up on one of his pet projects, and it's created discord throughout the entire organization. And this battle that they've fought for 36 months now, it's so pointless at this point. And again, I'm not even blaming Kuminga right now. I'm genuinely not.
I don't even know that he's complaining right now. It's just, but like the noise from like his agent's clearly trying to get him a bigger deal, which he can if he gets out of the worst situation. Someone's going to bet on him. Whether it works out or not, like it's going to happen. If I was a rebuilding team, I would bet on him. Just because like there's not a lot of opportunities at guys with upside under the age of 25. That's just reality, you know? Like I get why the Suns wanted him because they're kind of stuck right now, and they're like, well, let's see if he can be it. You know,
same reason they were okay with taking Jalen Green as like a cat in the Durant.
Exactly.
Like it's the same philosophy.
Honestly, in the post Steph era, I'd be okay with the Warriors doing that and giving those guys runaway too. Like at a certain point, you got to give guys shots. But the Warriors are in a different situation right now. I don't know how else to put it. And like I'm just looking at the chat here. It's just like obnoxious. It's.
I think the way to put it is everybody's fucking frustrated. No matter what side of this argument, disagreement you're on, you're frustrated. You either think he should be playing more and Steve Kerr's a fucking idiot, or you think he sucks and he shouldn't be on the team. Like that's how polarizing it's gotten, even though the truth lies somewhere in the middle. But nobody's happy right now. What side of this disagreement, argument, what side of it is happy? Neither side's happy right now. So what's the point of all of it?
No, and their argument would be, well, you're not winning. You might as well let him go out there. Okay. All right.
Sure, man.
I don't know. To me, like, to me, that all that does him a disservice because I thought he played fine. rotationally fine. You know what I mean? Like he should be in the rotation. He should consistently be in the rotation. I didn't, like, yes, the offense wasn't where you'd want it, but he competed hard.
Yes.
And this isn't the conversation I want to have after